What's good, YouTube? This is Dan Main from Unknown Artist, and today I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to improve your setup in VirtualBox and Kali so that you can take the OSCP with ease, so that you can rank up on Hack the Box with ease, etc. Coming in at number 5 and number 4 is some kind of cloud backup for your virtual machine. So you always want to back up your Kali to a cloud, whether that is Google Drive or whatever the case, so that you can have a copy that's always shareable. Or if you need to go to Timbuktu or Russia or Australia or anywhere around the world, you'll always have a copy in the cloud to use, and that you can also share with your colleagues. Coming in at number 4 is to record your progress. Record every time you attack a box in screen recording software. I prefer Screenbits, not sponsored by the way, but I prefer Screenbits. And once I'm done with the recording, I save that to Google Drive, and that automatically gets uploaded to Google's cloud. And then because I have Google Drive on my phone, anywhere that I am, I can just whip out my phone and take a look at myself, stumble over boxes, make stupid mistakes, do great things, and it just reinforces that learning. With all of that said, now we're going to get into some technical stuff. So coming in at number 3, something that I thought was really beneficial to me is having a extra hard drive for Kali. I was doing a box on Hack the Box and I ran out of space, and it was one of the most frustrating feelings that I've ever felt. And I had to piece together how to actually install a hard drive, a virtual hard drive on Kali. And so now that I know that, I'm going to show it to you. So first thing that you want to do is go to settings and go to storage, and you want to click controller SATA here, and you want to click add hard disk, and you want to click create. Now I already created one in a previous rehearsal of this video, as you see there, and then this is the one that I'm currently using that solves all my problems, but we're gonna walk through it anyway. We want to click create, and we want to keep that persistent. We want to keep that there, and this is where you get to name your file. So you should really rename your file, for the simple fact that if you want to transfer this hard disk from Kali to Ubuntu, you know what it is. So this will be something like, I don't know, we can name it tools, and we will keep it at 8 gigabytes for this demonstration, but I would recommend that you go up to as much space as you can, maybe 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes, depending on if you can handle that. We're gonna just do it 8 gigs because I just don't have the time. 811 is fine. I'm gonna click create, and then we have tools VDI. We're gonna click choose, and then you can choose to make it a solid state and hot pluggable if you please. We're gonna leave that default for now. It's fine if you just leave it alone. We're just gonna keep going. Make sure it's in the right SATA port. It is. We're gonna click OK, and then we're gonna power up Kali Linux. All right, Kali. Sweet. Okay, so now that we have Kali loaded, the first thing we want to do is open up a trusty dusty Linux terminal, and we want to type lsblk. So this is our tools.vdi. You just have to understand that it's gonna, any new drives, it's just gonna add, it's going to just raise the letter by 1. So this was the last drive I installed, so this is the very next one. So keep /dev/SDC in mind. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to type sudo parted dev/SDC, enter, and then I'll type my super secret password into Kali. And now we are in SDC and we're ready to make a partition. So we want to type make label or MK label GPT, enter. Well, it should have given me a prompt. It should have given me, I don't know. We're just gonna keep going. Print. Okay, it actually worked. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna type make part SDC1. So this is the name of your partition. I'm gonna name it SDC1 because it falls in line with the naming conventions here. You can name it anything you want. You could name it tools if you want. It really won't matter because it you can change your mounted folder to anything you want. So you know, do what you want there. I would recommend just going with SDC1 or whatever makes sense. ext4 is your file system. We're going to start at 1 megabyte and we're going to stop at 8,000 megabytes. And we're gonna push enter. And just to make sure that that worked, we're gonna type print again, and there we are. So we can then type exit. I think exit works. Quit. It likes quit. All right. So the very next thing that we need to do is type ls block again, and just make sure everything went well. And we see that our partition is here. So now we need to format that partition. So the first thing then we need to do to format it is, I'm looking at my notes here, sudo make fs tact ext4 dev sdc1, and we're done. So that worked wonderfully. Next thing that we want to do is find a folder to mount it to. So I'm gonna use cd mount. You can use whatever you want. I already have an SDC in there, so let's see what's in it. Nothing. Okay, beautiful. So we can just remove it. Let's see. One, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need sudo with that. All right. So the next thing that I would recommend that you do is just make sudo make dir sdc1. So you can name this anything you want. So as a matter of fact, let's name this move sdc1 to tools. Okay, it's not letting me. All right, boom. So we're just gonna call it tools, just to show you that you can name your mounted folder whatever you want so that you don't confuse yourself. In fact, let's just do it even bigger. Let's just get out of mount real quick, because I don't want you to think that you need to use the mount folder. Let's make a folder called sudo make dir hacker man, and then cd into hacker man, and then boom. And then now we could say make dir. Did I sudo that? I probably did. So I'm just gonna have to sudo the rest of this. Sudo make dir, and then this will be tool drive. So we have tool drive. Boom. Next thing that you would want to do is sudo mount tact auto dev.sdc1, and then it'll be just tool drive, and then that's it. So if you go into tool drive, you should have lost and found. So boom, your drive is now mounted. And let's block, make sure nothing went wrong. Yes, so anything you put in HackerMan tool drive is going to go on that disk. Now, again, I'm going to reiterate, the great thing about that is you can take this VDI and move it to Linux, a different flavor of Linux, and you could share it with everyone else so that everyone has your tools. Your tools are on a virtual hard drive. How cool is that? That's really cool. So the final thing that you want to do, just to make sure that everything is peachy, is you want to sudo vim etc stab, and then you want to insert so that you can edit this thing. When you go to end, you want to say dev sdc1, and then this is your mount point. This could be whatever again, but we set it to Hackerman tool drive, and then you want to push tab, and then we made the and I'm getting this with the type up here. We made it a ext4 file system, so we'll keep going. For options, we'll just type defaults. For dump, we'll type 0, and then for pass, I believe that is password. I'm not sure, but we'll just say 0 because that is what everything else has, probably except this, but you know, we'll keep moving. So colon wq bang, and then everything was good. So now we will restart Kali to see if our drive automatically mounts. So Kali Linux. Kali, put in my super secret password and click here. CD. Nope. CD. Nope. Okay, CD Hackerman tool drive ls lost and found. Beautiful. Number 2 on the list might be a little bit simple to you, but it was groundbreaking for me because I always knew that it was possible, but I just never applied the logic. So if I can go into CD, where am I at? CD home. If I go to CD work, which is my mounted drive, and I'm going to show you around because I don't have anything interesting in here. CD downloads, and then do a ls, and then that's my proving grounds OVPN, which I need to move into on OpenVPN, by the way. So I'll just do a move in VPN, make their VPN. And so now you see my proving grounds. Let's actually make a folder for that. Proving grounds, move proving grounds OVPN into proving grounds. Awesome. So if I do an ls star, you'll see that in my HTB folder, I have HTB, OpenVPN, and then etc. I don't know. For TryHackMe, I have the damn main.ovpn, go figure, right? So I don't want to type sudo OpenVPN, blah, 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 HTB.ovpn every time because I'm lazy. So what I did was ls, what is it? I don't know what it is. I'm used to PowerShell there. So ls user local sbin. I have HTB, which is really just is a bash file, and then THM, which is also just basically a bash file, right? I put those there so that instead, and I'll show you what I mean. Cats user local sbin. I put HTB, it might not let me see it, so I'll do sudo. I put those in user local sbin so that when I type sudo HTB, it'll just go ahead and run this command. So as soon as I log into my Kali, I'm basically like sudo HTB, and boom, it just automatically does it for me. And then I could just open up a new tab, sudo thm. Boom. And it's just quick for me. Like, I don't have to worry about OpenVPN, whatever. And then it improves my workflow even more, because when I need to, let's go back into work. Let's go back into downloads. Maybe I need to change the downloads name. VPN. When I need to change my VPN configuration, I just go ahead and download it into here and save it as HTB.OVPN. So when I download anything, I go to my settings really quick. Border portion, I don't know what that is, but where were we? Yep. So downloads, always ask where you save files, so that when I save it, I just give it this name particularly, and then I'm good to go. I don't deal with, you know, Firefox trying to append the 1s and the 2s, and then I have all of these configuration files and I'm like, oh, which one do I use? No, always save it as HTB OVPN, and so that when I come into my Kali instance, I can just simply type sudo.htb. So moving on to number 1, actually. Number 1 is important to me because I like spending time with the family, and my gaming computer / hack the box computer is in a room to itself. So it's kind of like an office or whatever the case. So how do I solve the problem of spending time with the family, chilling downstairs, you know, watching a movie, quote unquote, while still doing hack the box or while still studying or whatever the case? The answer to me is be able to SSH into my Kali. But that's not really enough, because let's just say I do SSH into my Kali instance. Most of hack the box is web exploits. It's web enumeration. I have to load in a web page and start hacking away at a web page, which means that I'll have to have some kind of, I have to open up Firefox and actually look at a page, right? So how do I solve all of those problems? Well, there's a YouTuber by the name of NetSec Explained that walks through this process. And once I learned it, he has some other stuff too, by the way, that shows you how to do some cool stuff with Excel. But once he walked through it and I learned it, like, it was game changing for me. So we'll walk through that setup. The first thing that you need to do is get your Kali IP for your network, your Wi-Fi network or your wired network or whatever you have in your home. So you'll see that it is 192.168.1.108 for me. And then I'm just going to open up a trusty PowerShell command and then just do a IP config. And then my IP address here is .1.87. So I will ping 192.168.1.108. I don't have to do a taxi because it's Windows and I have a connection there. So I may mess this up. Enable SSH. I don't think I did. I think that is actually correct. Okay. So you want to enable SSH with systemctl enable, and then once you do that, you can verify that it's running. Netstat tech ANO, I think grep 22, and you'll see at the top that your Kali is now listening on 22. I may have already been listening on 22, but I just walked through that process just to show you how to activate it in case you are not. Once we do that, we can verify that SSH works by SSH Kali at 192.168.1.108, and I should, yep, who am I? And then we can even check on Hackerman, CD Hackerman, CD. You can't really see it because it's, Yeah, there you go. We got tool drive in there. And then we should have lost and found. Bang. So we have access to SSH. That's super simple, right? I didn't really teach you nothing there, right? You wanna see how I make the whole setup. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to download PuTTY. I already have PuTTY downloaded, but if you don't have that downloaded, you want to do that. And you want to put in the IP address of your Kali, which is 192.168.1.108. And then go ahead and save a session 192.168.1.108. Or you can just name it Kali. It's fine. And then save. So we're not done though. We want to click SSH and we want to click tunnels and we want to say 192.168.1.108. We want to change this to dynamic, and then we want to add a source port 9050. You can add any source port as long as it's not being used. You just have to remember that source port. I recommend 9050 just because. Now you want to go back up to your session and resave it just to make sure that it's locked in. Always save, because it's kind of frustrating to have to walk through this again and say, what did that guy say again? And have to come back to look at this video. And you don't want to do that, right? So we are almost done here. We can say open and we can log in as Kali and then put in a password. And then we are the same as you see HackerMan there. I don't know, CD HackerMan, whatever the case, right? Tool drive, right? So now we need to open up Burp Suite, Community Edition. We need to click next, start Burp. And we need to go to user options and down the SOCKS proxy. So 127.0.0.1, 9050 is our SOCKS proxy. And then we click use SOCKS proxy. We're still not done. Still not done. Next, we need to go to Firefox and we need to activate our Foxy proxy. Before we do that, we'll walk through the settings here. It is Burp Suite Community is my title, which is optional. My IP address is localhost, but my port is port 8080. If you set up Foxy proxy before for your Kali, it is the same stuff. Nothing is different there. So once you do that, I think that's it actually. If I were to, let's just make sure I didn't forget anything. Start a server there, and then Burp Suite is on and ready to go. If I did localhost, boom. So I see my tool drive, my lost and found and such, right? Like that. So essentially, if I were to go back to here and say sudo HTB and load up hack the box, and then go to hackthebox.eu. And then that should sign me in. I think that should sign me in. Okay, it didn't, so we'll sign in, it's fine. Do I have, oh, don't do me like that. I think I have I thought I had an active box going. I guess I don't. What am I doing here? Oh, it's machines. New stuff coming out. Always got new stuff coming out. That's awesome. If we just activate Trick, this is the one I'm most familiar with because this was my last favorite machine that I did. It has a pretty has a LFI on it, and I haven't done LFI in a while. So once I did it, I actually haven't done it since the OSCP material. So getting to do LFI again was fun. And you know, it didn't make it like super easy, like .. like you had to really dig for it. So it's pretty neat to actually do that. But yeah, we'll wait for this instance to load so that I could just show you that you can just work with Hack the Box as soon as this hurries up. But yeah, you basically see that. Okay, boom. 10.129, what is that? 86.216. Excuse the noise in the background. They do not respect when we're from Mississippi and they're really loud. That should work. This definitely should work. I really don't know what's going on. Did I intercept it? I don't think I intercepted anything. Am I intercepting? Intercept is off. Let's double check. Tap that. Trick that. Connection reset. Why did I get connection reset? I'm getting it again, so I gotta troubleshoot some stuff here. Ping 10.129, 86.216. Okay, so either my VPN that is hack the box, right? Sudo.htb, that's good. So it might be the box is being slow to load for me, and it would have happened in a video, right? Okay, so now it's good. So I should be fine. Boom, here it is. So this is the website that you have to go after in on the box trick. So I successfully have, you know, what I need to go ahead and do my thing on Hack the Box. And then it would obviously work the same way with the PWK material and Proving Grounds, whatever else you have. And again, the cool thing about this is I can just take my son's laptop or my wife's laptop, and as long as I have Putty and Burp Suite on there, it could even be a Mac. I think if Mac has, I don't know if MacBooks have Putty, but it doesn't have to be Putty. It just has to be a way that makes it super simple to do SSH proxies. Now, we all should know that there's a way to do it on just a regular command prompt. But just being able to save a profile is super duper convenient, because you're not trying to keep all those commands on your dome, which is kind of like, I guess if I were to give out a bonus tip for setup, try to keep only a few commands memorized. Don't try to compete with people and keeping commands memorized, because that really, like, no one really cares, man. So if you're walking around with a notebook, or if you're walking around and you have to always refer to your notes, that's just as professional as memorizing it. If you show up to a meeting, if you're a pen tester and you show up to a meeting and all of the commands that you ran are written down, people are going to say, man, this guy is detailed. He doesn't want to miss a pixel. He doesn't want to miss a thing, you know? So yeah, it is perfectly okay to not memorize all of this stuff. Now, eventually you're going to memorize it because it will come in repetition. What I'm basically saying in this long rant is, if you don't memorize a wfuzz command, or if you don't remember how to, you know, open up git in a command line, it's okay. You know, just have it written down somewhere and refer to it. And that's the beauty of that's the beauty of the OSCP. You're allowed to use notes. So what I did was, and I think I have it in here, TJ Knowles. Yep, I do. So what I did, and I'm going to do this in a separate video in case you didn't watch it to this point. But what I did was, every box that I did on TJ Knowles' list, I put them long form so that I could not only compare them, I could move around like that. I could say, oh, wow, I did that on this box, and then I did that on this box. And when I wanted to look for my next way in, instead of having 20 different files open, I had all of the boxes that I did in this one neat Excel sheet, and I got some pretty good reviews about it. Some of the guys that I work with really like this format, and they really wanted it. I even color coded it to say, okay, at this point in my methodology, I'm going to run GoBuster. At this point in my methodology, I'm going to test with cross-site scripting. And I guess to add to my number one tip for setting up, because Microsoft Excel is a Windows product, it just works, right? So you can have this here with my Kali and your Kali connection, your Kali web proxy, right? So, I mean, it just worked for me. I took the test once and failed it, took it again and passed it. And I passed it, I believe, because I had setups like this, like even when it came down to one of the most notorious commands for me and my brain and forgetting is IEX new object. It's like new object web client. I don't know. It's if you don't know what I'm referring to, it is that PowerShell command with the IEX. I have it somewhere in here. I guess it's not trying to find it now. You know, like that's the look of having video, like doing a video, right? Like, you know, it's in there, but like something you're doing just is not working. But I do know that it's in here. Here it is. So I don't have to ever memorize this long string of a jig, this thing right here, because it's here. And it's probably also on the internet, but I implore you, and again, I'm going to do a whole video on this. The less clicks, the better. People don't understand that it takes energy to click around. It takes energy to type around. So if all of your notes are in one file, that's more energy that you can use to push forward. I even got my, I'm not going to show this thing off too much. This is like, to me, this is like the Ferrari of notes right here. These are some of my PWK labs. I probably shouldn't show that actually. And then this is the boxes again that I did for OSCP. I started trying to go for the OSEP, but then I was like, yeah, I didn't have the money at that point. And so I was like, there's no way that I'm about to go through all of that. And I even did Heath Adams stuff before he went all big time on us and started offering certs to people. So with all of that, I hope you enjoyed my 5-to-1 list and then my bonus here. Please like and subscribe. Tell me what I can do better. Tell me what I did well. I'm really trying to compete with the likes of IPSec, even though I'm one of his biggest fans. I'm trying to add more value to my videos than he does so that I can get better. But it is a tall order because this guy is wicked smart, and I'm just like this kid from Mississippi that just somehow got the OSCP and just gets lucky wherever he goes, and just tries to have fun with this stuff, man. So yeah, I'm going to compete with him, the John Hammonds and all of those guys, so that in my process of friendly competition, I can develop my skills and get better and have the motivation to go after the hard and insane boxes. Because I tell you, without a thing to do, I feel like if you don't have like a YouTube or someone looking towards you, or if you don't work with colleagues, if you don't have people around you to judge you and to peer into what you're doing, it's hard to be motivated. So having a YouTube makes me super exposed. And so if I don't know something, or if I'm lacking on maybe buffer overflows or, exploit dev, and I start talking about that stuff and somebody sharpshoots me, well, that stings super hard when I go to sleep at night. So now I have to work on my craft. It will not let me go, right? So that is the way that I'm going to get better. That is the way that I'm going to kind of hone my skills into training people. And I have talked a long time. So please, again, like and subscribe. I'm Dan Main. I love what I do, and I hope you love what you do too. We out.